Chair, I would like to introduce Craig Caulfield.
Good morning, Mr. Cronican, and to the board and to all the shareholders. I've got questions that I'll bring up later, but I'm bringing these up because it relates to the board. I would like to reiterate the points that my colleague Michael Sanderson raised just about board structure. And I'd like to endorse the outrage from Mr. Schacht and Mr. Starr, you know, over those past horrendous issues. Now, I know that NAB is doing a lot better and NAB's made a lot of improvements. I don't doubt that. I also know that the skills that have been mentioned when we were talking of Mr. Mackay, they would be right. I believe that the board has excellent skills and excellent qualifications, but I don't believe the board has all of those skills and qualifications and experiences covered. I'm a passionate advocate for bank reform, a founder of Bank Warriors and an advisor to Bank Reform Now. Bank Reform Now has 15,000 members and followers. I travel the east coast of Australia. I've been to 25 AGMs. I've met hundreds of victims. And we look at things like internal dispute resolution, external dispute resolution, AFCA. I mean, AFCA is a major failure. And the board, the members of the board, I don't think clearly see this. And unless you bring some other people onto the board, now, I think you could create a sub-board or a subcommittee, but it needs issues to be elevated up. Clearly, with the Helen Rosamond, etc., issues didn't raise up. Clearly, I accept that you're definitely, earnestly changing things and doing things for the better. But we don't know that in 6 years' time there's going to be other things out there. You made comments, Mr. Cronican, about the Royal Commission. You've certainly made improvements. But it was left that it's like we're post-Royal Commission and we've still got our eye on the ball. There's dozens of recommendations by Commissioner Hayne that have not been enacted. So I'll just mention one. NAB is the leader for agricultural loans in Australia. Farm debt mediation was one of the very clear, simple recommendations. Let's have a national farm debt mediation strategy. We've got a hodgepodge of state systems that work, don't work. Surely one simple system across Australia would be better. Now, I've heard every bank say back from 2016, let's have national farm debt mediation, a national standard. Anna Bligh has said that from predating the Royal Commission. No one's done anything about it. So I expect National Bank to proactively bring this in. So when I hear you, Mr. Cronican, saying, yes, we're past the Royal Commission, we're mindful of things, that's not enough. And so this is where the board requires extra people, like myself or Mr. Sanderson or others that are here, to get this alternative mix of views. So I hear of strength and courage and challenge. All those are correct, and all of the board members are excellent, and all of the skills are excellent. But there are some critical omissions, a little wedge of omissions that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Mr. Caulfield. And I think, Ross, you probably can follow through on the farm debt mediation issue with the ABA. Yeah. Okay, I think Ross will take that on board. So thank you very much for the question.